Hello. How's it going? What's up, everyone? Mmm. Coffee is here and ready. How are you guys feeling? Oh, hold on. I'm very quiet, aren't I? Did something change? Do I sound too quiet to you guys? Can I adjust this somehow? Like, the levels are already maxed out. I'm good. Well, okay then. I guess I'm not that quiet. Dev ASMR. Hmm. Sound normal. Well, okay. What's going on, everyone? How's it going? How do you put up with Venus Berging? Yeah, I saw his video today. Wait, thanks for being my Destiny waiting room. What? No, I'm not a Destiny waiting room, god damn it. Oh man, what's going on, everyone? So, I'm just stretching. Oh yeah. Working on new videos. Stuff is happening. Slowly but surely. Um Dave might be good to come back. You know what I mean? It's been some time. Review Tech USA became available. What the fuck? Did it really? I'm looking for a new channel name. Yeah, so I have changed my channel name to Dev Short Fire Otaku. Yeah, because I am gonna slowly go through a rebrand over the next few months. But Dave says that he's probably good to come back to doing the game streams again, so we'll get those going again. He deleted his channel, did he? Fuck. Review Tech USA deleted his fucking channel. Why? What a okay, whatever. What a doofus. Okay, I'll look into that later. But anyway, how's the situation with him and Dom? Still bad. Still bad. It's that is not improving. I mean, very slowly improving maybe, but like that he who is without sin cast the first super chat. Thank you, Jasso Havens. I appreciate it. I have not played Avowed. I have not kept up with any culture war stuff since the Dom stuff happened, frankly. I've been very much on the periphery of everything. To be honest, I probably got to stop using that as an excuse at this point. So yeah, he had strikes and his other channels would get demonetized. Listen, I went through that problem like 6 years ago. You avoid that by having all of your channels under different Gmails. What a doofus. Anyway, the Dom situation, there's like extremely slow improvement, but she's not going back to normal for a very long time. All right, and to be fair, she's like out of the immediate danger part, so now it's just going to be a long, slow slog of hopefully rehab. Is it rehab? Hold on, is it called rehab? Because like it was a health thing, not a drug thing. What's it called when you have to go and like relearn all your skills after brain damage? Physical therapy. Yeah, there's physical rehab. Okay, yeah, well that's what's gonna happen, and it's gonna take some fucking time. So there's no chance of Dom coming back to the channel, if ever, for a very, very, very long time. However, Dave said that he's feeling better about possibly coming back to streams, so maybe we will start doing gaming streams again. That might be nice, you know? And of course, he and I are occasionally in the Discord, like hanging out and bopping around. Oh man, the coffee's nice and really hot coffee today. Mm. Oh man, that's good. Yeah, a long, slow climb is better than being foobar. I agree. So, as for me, new videos being made. In fact, you know what? I need to go and make sure that I have fucking... Sorry, just real quick. I had to go and like send a message to a couple people because I have some new artwork coming. I probably should talk about the hold on. Okay, hold on. Okay. Sorry. So, as for what I'm doing for videos, Canada videos, including trucker video, are still currently underway. However, I'm still waiting on artwork. I got back the first draft of new artwork I'm using for those those videos, and it looks good. But I asked him to do some changes and make some alterations, so it's back to the drawing board. He's adding in a few more things, and so basically I can start dropping the Canadian relevant videos as soon as that artwork's finished. So I guess we'll have to see. My plan was either to do like the response videos to all the Dev derangement syndrome people, either do that first or do the Canadian election videos coming up first, one of the two. And I decided ultimately to go with the Canadian videos first, including the trucker video, because the artwork had come in. But now I'm getting some changes done to the artwork. So who knows what I'll do first? Yeah. I guess we'll see. Zontar, $5. Had 5 guys DM me wellness checks. Come on, guys. It was just a rejection. Them laughing was the worst part, and she isn't even involved. What are you talking about, Zontar? What the fuck? What's all this? Corona Soul. Hello, everyone. Hope you're doing well. I'm well hydrated myself. I'm annoyed at new challenge levels in Astrobot. Have fun today. Are there new challenge levels in Astrobot? Oh, wow. Oh. 4 more days for you. Oh, yeah. Thanks, Exiles. Oh, I asked Rima out on the Archcast, and they were being cruel to... Oh, that sucks. I assume she said no? Rip. Because Zontar and Rima live in the same location, right? She said, what the fuck? Okay, listen. Here. Tip 1. Meet the girl in real life before asking her out like a random person on the internet. Okay. The worst she can say is no, and then like the entire Archcast. Oh no, that sucks. Trigger video artwork better be a rendition of you in sort of Mad Max Road Warrior getup. No, it's not going to be that, Jassa, but thank you. Good morning, Fat. Do you have a reading list? Look in the Canada vids. Reading list, man. Jonathan Haidt, The Righteous Mind, is definitely on there. Daniel Kahneman, Thinking Fast and Slow, definitely on there. Like, you should learn psychology before talking about... You should learn psychology before going into, like, politics or philosophy or policy. Psychology is the basis for a lot of it. Hold on. Stalk her first and ask her off. No, what I mean is, like... Shooting your shot, especially through a super chat, is kind of wild to me, bro. But okay. I mean, I guess, good for you for shooting your shot, but still. Adam Friended's reading list. Oh, man. I disagree with Adam a lot. He seems to basically be pulling his punches on Trump when Trump's doing some actual bad stuff. But, he's still like a rational guy. I just disagree with him on this. Dev, when is Naomi stroking you smelly? So what the fuck? What the fuck, dude? Hey, Dev, will you go out with me? Sure, Stug. Hold on. Sorry. Sorry. Listen, I can't talk about this. Just sorry. Here, I'll return in just a moment. Okay, sorry. Okay. The dynamic of Adam getting increasingly more pro-Trump and Supreme East with more Trump makes the show entertaining. Yeah, but do you think they'll split up though? Do you think that'll be a problem, Tidge? So Sargon posted a video, right? And it was sow the wind, reap the whirlwind, and everything he said in the video is completely correct. He's right about his analysis of the situation. But he's missing some very important things. Devin, when you flee out west, kicking and screaming, the rent in Ocean Falls is cheap these days. Is it really? Where the fuck is Ocean Falls? Thanks for the $5. Ocean Falls is like a small town in like northern British Columbia. Eh? Dude, that's way more north than I already am. I don't feel like freezing. People never seem like they're going to split up until they do. I saw it on Ethan, you and Scrump. Yeah, I know what you mean. I think Sammy checked such as TDS. God. Pro thump, like pro clap or something. Okay. Here. Hold on. I gotta try to keep my head on straight. I've currently got 1,000 different things happening. Okay. So Sargon made a video. The video's contents were correct, but he missed some important things that should have probably been in the video. But I don't know if he doesn't know or he doesn't care or whatever. In Sargon's video, he basically said that the reason the right wing has come around to not giving a shit about the left wing's concerns and is simply dismantling everything they have built is because the left wing has consistently refused to negotiate with the right. The left simply called them fascist and Nazis and deplatformed them, didn't debate them, didn't do anything, did not like the proper way things should have gone is that the Republicans would say, listen, we want the border closed. And the Democrats would say, okay, that's fine. We'll close the border, but in exchange, you're going to pay for a healthcare service for citizens, right? And they can each get something of what they want. And not everyone's going to be completely happy, but then that's what making a deal is. That is what negotiation is, right? And Sargon said the reason that everything is happening is because the left has consistently refused to negotiate with the right. And that's all true. You can go back to Gamergate and see it happening in like that very small domain with gaming. You can go back then, and then you can see it, gradually blow up and up and up and up and up until it actually hits real politics, and then you have Brexit, and then you have Trump, and then you have, all of this shit happening. So a lot of this stuff is definitely true, what he said. However, he missed some key points. And the key points that he missed are that the right wing is rapidly becoming what the left was in 2014. And that's kind of a very big problem. It's not going to be good. If that makes sense. Because now we have the same thing. We have people who are refusing to debate. All right, absolutely refusing to debate. They will. So I mean, even in my own situation now, like V doesn't debate anymore. Okay, he doesn't. How many right wingers will like refuse to get on stage with like left wing debaters? Right. I've watched like Destiny get on stage with various right wing figures, and these guys lose their fucking minds. Like they just like they seethe, and when Destiny like brings up points against them, right? They seem to be unable. They seem to be unable to engage in real debate the way that they weren't back in like the 2010s. The right wing is now they're now on the canceling. They're now on the canceling track. They deplatform people. They call people's like real life employers. They do all the things to try and silence you rather than actually debate your ideas, right? Oh yeah, listen, I understand Destiny's doing his own. Destiny has his own problems. I get it. All right, I get it. I get it, guys. But if we're talking about just debating, the right wing has kind of gone crazy. They don't debate anymore. They certainly don't debate in good faith anymore. They constantly use whataboutisms. They say things that are just like blatantly, provably false. And yeah, they do the canceling, they do the deplatforming, they do doxing, social shaming. They've adopted all of the toolkit of the left, all of them. Bill Skinner, $2. You also see the James Lindsay saga make. I did see that. Yeah, I did see that. I actually dig that circumstance is part of smashing the left, smashing what the left built. That particular part need to be specified. No. Like, I understand that if you are now in power, if you're the right wing and you're in power, and you've decided to no longer negotiate with the left because the left has failed to negotiate with you, you are simply going to dismantle everything that they have built. Then you need to start smashing things. Yes, I understand. However, here's the issue though. Like, if you think that I'm going to sit here and cry when, when companies are no longer forced to have boring as fuck DEI seminars where workers have to sit there and be lectured at by some fucking blue hair. Now, I don't give a shit about that. I do not give a fuck about that. And frankly, I'm also not really going to cry all that much when illegal immigrants get deported. Okay, because they're illegal immigrants. They should go home. Countries should have legal immigration policies. Those policies should be followed. It's not fascism to judge whether or not someone can be in your country if they're not a citizen. Okay, like I fucking had a guy on Blue Sky like maybe a week ago say that it was fascist for a country to have borders and to enforce those borders. And I'm like, you're actually just out to lunch. Like, you're fucking retarded, dude. So like, I'm not sitting here crying over what Trump is doing in this regard, okay? However, I'm on like every social media platform, zero fucks. However, there are things that Trump's doing that is actually bad. It's actually bad. And one, the right wing just doesn't care. They're like, yeah, okay, we're willing to tolerate this obvious terrible shit because we want to own the libs. And it's like, okay, but that will rapidly make you worse than the left. It will rapidly bring you down that path where now you've completely abandoned all sense of morality and you're just going to do whatever makes you laugh the most in real politics. Like, it's completely fucking ridiculous. And then two, and more importantly, what right-wingers don't understand is that the things that Trump will dismantle will hurt them far more than it will hurt the left. Some things, anyway. Some things, right? So, for example, like one of the things that is on the Doge radar is Medicare, right? And now imagine if they start cutting Medicare. Overwhelmingly, who uses more Medicare? Well, rural people over city people, poor people over rich people, old people over young people. All of these demographics that benefit from Medicare are all Trump voters. And I'm just sitting here thinking, like, You guys are literally clapping for your own lives to get worse. Like, you're like, it's so, wait, super lame, boring, predictable, cherry picked argument. What? How is that even a reply to what I said? Okay. So, Raffle, I just owned the chuds. When did I even say chud? What the fuck? What the fuck, dude? Are you even like in this universe? Yeah, maybe just for super chats. Thank you very much. 100 Kronors. Thank you, Lagnad. Hot take. A lot of people use Trump as a vessel for retribution. It's not about policies, it is vengeance they want. Well, I understand that, right? I understand spite. However, I also understand what comes after spite. All right? You know the comic where the guy's like, I want change. And he like smashes his house and he's sitting in the rubble and he's like, oh, shit, dude. Like, that's what the right wing's going to be. Things will get worse. All right? Okay, listen. Here. The real, okay. Oh my God. Did you guys see there was a guy from Doge, and he was like given a press conference, and he said that if we decide to pay out $5,000 in Doge checks from all the money that we've saved from pulling apart USAID, and just give people $5,000 checks, $5,000 checks, he said that it won't cause inflation. And I'm like, are you fucking retarded? Like what the fuck are you? Do you not understand how anything works? How anything works? All right. Like, Biden cut $2,000 checks, and that caused like Biden inflation, dude. You're gonna sit here and say that $5,000 checks from the fucking government, like, it's so. And you know what? Trump fans are just like, they're lapping it up. They're clapping. They're like, yeah, dude. Oh, $5,000 from the government. Oh, it's like, did you not just complain about government spending? The left's pretty evil, and at times, and we all know when those times are. You've watched a bunch of my videos. You've seen me point it out. But the left is evil and sometimes smart. The right is evil and stupid. And it's like, well, shit, dude. What the fuck? It's not new money. It's basically a tax return. Dude, you don't understand how inflation works, all right? Inflation is the increase of prices, all right? If you increase demand by giving people money, now there's more demand for they're going to go out and spend that money, and you don't increase supply because you're not giving money in exchange for labor. So you're not like, so it's not like it's not like there's more labor in the economy. So supply hasn't gone up. You've only increased demand and not supply. That increases prices. All right. It's just how it is. If you if you tax somebody, that will cause inflation to go down. If you lower taxes, inflation increases because people have more money in their pockets to spend, which means more demand, same amount of supply, prices go up. This is basic supply demand stuff, guys. Illegal immigrants should be deported, except me because I'm a special. Nice, lives in Deswalls. Afternoon, Dev. There's an election in Germany today, and Musk and Vance's big product boost the AfD seems to have been ineffectual. Any comments? Not really. Other than that, one, I'm not surprised. Other countries don't like being told what to do. And two, if this were Soros influencing elections, the right wing would have a shit fit. Or like the right wing like threw a fit when like Obama went around and like tried to like talk to other countries and like, what the fuck isn't your? But now that Musk and Vance are doing it, not a single peep from the right. Yeah, okay, all right. Hold on a second. Give me a moment. As fellow Leaf, fully support him deporting scum, but anyone who believes any annex offer from him is an idiot. We'd be Northern Puerto Rico. Yeah, exactly, Sean. Exactly. Yeah, exactly, dude. Also, you know what? Believe it or not, the Liberals have had a massive spike in popularity in Canada. Here, I mean, I can show you. Just give me a second, okay? Canada polling. Like, an election's coming up. The Liberals have been historically fucking, like, collapsed. But you know what happened? As soon as Trump went hard on Trudeau, the Liberals skyrocketed, okay? Here. Okay, yeah. This is the right one. Okay, look at this, okay? Check this out, dude. So, blue is our Conservative Party. Red is our Liberal Party. The orange, yellowish, that's the NDP. They're basically like the Socialist Party. And then you have the Green Parties, the Greens, the kind of like dark green teal party, that is the Quebec Nationalist Party, and then purple is the far right, People's Party from Maxime Bernier. Okay? And so this is the polling. This is the polling of for basically like if a national election were held, which way would you vote, right? And so Trudeau has been pretty unpopular. Trudeau was elected last in 2021, and he was just more popular than the Conservatives by a bit. The Conservatives dipped. At around this point, the Conservatives elect their new very popular leader, and he leads the party in a slow up, right? And Trudeau gets more and more unpopular, unpopular. Like, for years, we've been saying it is inevitable the Conservatives are going to win as soon as the next election comes. And the next election it's set for October 20th, but it could be earlier than that based on the Canadian system. However, as soon as Trump decides to go hard on Canada, massive Liberal spike in popularity and Conservative drop. Like, as soon as Trump says we're gonna make sure that Canada becomes the 51st state, and like he calls Trudeau to like Mar-a-Lago, and he's like, "Fuck you, Trudeau." As soon as all that shit happens, massive spike in popularity for the Liberals, because Canadians don't like to be told what to do, not by Americans. All right, there is a non-zero chance that the Liberals win again. There is a non-zero chance that Trudeau like rescinds his offer to step down as leader of the Liberal Party and just wins again, because Trump did this. It's kind of insane, because we've been set up for a Conservative majority now for years, and all it took to ruin that was for Trump to step in. And here's the thing, I don't want Liberals to win. The Canadian Liberals are fucking terrible. I want the Canadian Conservatives to win this time. But Trump has thrown what was a sure thing into doubt. Like, talk about fucking stupidity, dude. It's really funny how things go sometimes. I know, like, Trump has had no problem saying, I want this country to have this leader, I want that country to have this leader. Trump has had no problem sticking his nose in where it doesn't belong. And every time he does it, it fucking backfires. They're like, well, good job. Good job, Trump, you fucking retard. Oh, is Metal Commander? That's right. Metal Commander's on today. Yeah, Schnitzel. Yeah, he's cool. Sudden embrace of patriotism by the Liberal Party gives me whiplash. I hope Trump causes Canada to get this shit together. You see the hockey game? Oh, the complete opposite's happening, Zab. And I do not know. I do not follow hockey. I'm the one Canadian who doesn't. This is gonna sound strange to you, but nationalism in Canada is very left wing. All of the Canadian nationalists are far left in Canada. They're not far right like other countries. Canada has a very strange relationship with nationalism. I think JJ McCullough did a good video on this, but basically Canadian nationalism is because Canada is so like existentially threatened by being next door neighbor to the world superpower, while also not like America is, America does not think about Canada whatsoever. Meanwhile, Canada is constantly comparing itself to America and trying to differentiate itself from its big neighbor that never even notices that it's there. So Canadian nationalism is often focused on fostering a national identity of Canada that is the opposite of America in like every single way. So all the ways in which Americans are, much more right wing than other parts of the world, which they are, Canada takes pride in being very left wing, and so a lot of the Canadian nationalists are leftists, and meanwhile the right wingers in Canada are all like monarchists. Let me see. Let me grab these other super chats, guys. $10 from Festiva. Thank you very much, dude. The right have learned the game's rules from the left and said that the left is learning why what they've done is evil. They're doubling down on everything. I bloody call this, for fuck's sake. I mean, I agree with you, Festiva, but like, there will be another pendulum swing back. And if you think that the left will have learned anything, it seems like they're not going to. But also, the right's not going to learn anything either, right? Like, imagine in 2028, you have a left-wing president who does not fight with one hand tied behind his back like Biden did, who just says, you know what? We're just going to do everything you fucking did to us in 2024. Fuck you. We're burning the entire right to the ground. I'll just be like, you know what? You guys both brought this on yourselves. Fuck you. And then $10 from Megaleg. Thank you very much. If your nation votes on the Liberal base off Trump, no, honestly, I must view your nation as remarkably stupid. Listen, Canada will, on principle, do the opposite of what America tells it to do if America just forces it, right? Now, if you make a deal with Canada, Canadians are very polite and happy to do it. However, if like Trump marches in and says, no, you will do this, Canadians will always do the opposite. It's as simple as that. Whether that's smart or dumb, it's probably pretty dumb, but that's just how it's going to be. Taras Shevchenko, $5. Trump has a bad habit of stirring enthusiasm for people he insults recently. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I'm desperately waiting for Trump to piss off Britain and for Sargon to have to reconcile his British nationalism against the. Well, Sargon's not a British nationalist. Sargon's not a British nationalist because Sargon's not a nationalist. Sargon is a British traditionalist. Those are different things. Nationalism is often misused by the left, or by left-leaning people. Let's say what nationalism means is just the idea that a country should be held together under one government based on the whim of the people who are in the country, right? So, like, French nationalism is basically, it is appropriate to have a French state because the French people all view themselves as a united group, right? Meanwhile, monarchism is, it is appropriate for the king to sit on the throne because God put him there. And so when you talk about nationalism in a kingdom like the UK, like nationalism and monarchism are completely opposing forces. And so Sargon, being very pro the British crown, is not a British nationalist. $5 from Colonel Soul. Thank you. What you're saying is Canada is the petty child proudly displaying their satanic Bible to America's preacher father. Yeah, in some ways, definitely, for sure. Have you seen Hassan be on the Trash Taste podcast? No, I haven't. I'll look that up after the stream, man. Thank you. Let me just grab that. And someone's on the Trash Taste podcast, and the comments are freaking out. Okay. Check it out later, man. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thoughts on Canada having a free trade, travel, work, and live agreement at some point in the future, so like what the EU has? I wouldn't mind it, to be honest. I had a friend tell me you called Trump a fascist. No, I didn't call Trump a fascist. I called Trump a dictator, which I think he wants to be, but not a fascist. No. Fascism is a specific type of like it's an ideology. You know, you are simply being a dictator does not make you a fascist. Simply wanting the state to exist does not make you a fascist or a communist. Simply wanting the government to do stuff does not make you a socialist. You know, people expand these labels out way too fucking much. But yeah, like, you know, I do kind of like the idea of the U.S. and Canada having an EU style arrangement where we can just travel freely between each other. I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't fucking live in Canada, I don't think. He's not a dictator. He's not in his nature. No, it is definitely. But can it actually benefit from being part of the U.S., like being a new state? If we had voting rights and we could keep our health care, yes, actually, we would benefit quite a bit. But if we were just like Puerto Rico, no, it'd be a massive downgrade for us. Is there a name for the ideology that underpins Trump? I mean, kind of, but it's kind of obscure. There's something like it's the informal label for it is like degenerated authoritarian, right? And what happens is when a country has an ideology, but then like the next generation of leader comes up and then takes over the framework of that ideology, but uses it for self-serving ends, right? So, for example, the Baathists in the Middle East, the Baathists were Islamic socialists, and for a while they tried to do like socialism with Islamic characteristics. However, the next generation of Baathists simply used the systems that were built before them to enrich themselves, and so the government still like maintained a Baathist shape, and it still had some of those socialist characteristics, but the person who was driving the car was clearly just using it to make himself richer, right? It's the difference between Lenin versus Stalin, because Lenin was like a true believer of the socialist project, and Stalin was much more opportunistically focused. He was much more focused on himself. And so like a degenerated authoritarian is someone who takes over a system that has an ideology and then uses it to, he basically uses it the way like almost the way a mob boss would use it. He just uses it for like for his own personal self-interest. So like Trumpism is basically just Trump doing things that are good for him and like his friends and his family on a personal level without regards for any sort of ideology. So people who call Trump a fascist, they're wrong. But people who call Trump an authoritarian or a dictator, or he wants to be a dictator, they're correct. Yes, but it's not in service of some like political project. It's just in service of himself. £5 or €5. Sorry, watch a few anti-dev videos today. Most arguments against you as a person are blown out of proportion and just bluntly insulting, no substance. I know, I understand. I've seen them. Thank you very much, though. Thank you for the support. Also, I hate Made. I'm gonna fucking do another video on Made. It's so fucking terrible. Megalag, $20. Thanks very much, dude. Nationalism is very much a liberal ideal. For example, on April 3rd, 1849, the Frankfurt Parliament offered Frederick Wilhelm IV the imperial crown of Germany. He declined, saying, "I don't want a crown from the gutter." I mean, I get the point, but like Napoleon's famous quote of, "I picked up the crown of France with my sword," it worked out for him in the short term. If the left isn't learning its lesson, what should the right be doing instead? See, if we're talking about like what should the right be doing for the right's sake, pretty much what they're doing right now. They should be a bit more discerning with what they're cutting, because like you guys all saw those reports, right? Where like Trump cut a bunch of people from like the FAA that were actually very important. Trump cut a bunch of people that were working on the bird flu outbreak in the poultry farming system, and they ended up being very important. And now the government is like scrambling desperately to try to get them back. Trump cut some people who were doing like nuclear safety stuff that was desperately important. Like Trump has come through, and he has not like he has not acted like the shrewd businessman he marketed himself as, where he's going to go over and see where the waste is and cut it. No, he's gone through and just like nuked everything, both the good and the bad. So, like, if the for not just the sake of the left or the sake of everyone, but for the right's own sake, he should be a lot more careful than what he's currently being, because I think the right wingers are going to suffer from this a lot. But also just in terms of just doing what's right, the Republicans are doing a lot of just evil stuff right now, frankly. Ben, isn't it populism? Populism is basically the opposite of elitism, right? And elitism and populism are both good and bad, depending on what you're talking about. There's definitely bad populism and good elitism. The Goodman, thank you. 2 questions, all right. Who made the idea of crossing the street carrying a brick in Canada? I've never heard of that before, ever. Also, is there a way to veto a petition against the government? In Canada, do you mean? Yes, but like I don't know exactly what you're talking about. Like, what exactly do you mean? Mr. Dev, I didn't watch some of those interviews. I just don't agree with them. I like you. You know, I agree with you 6% of the time. Well, thank you very much, ugly ass hell. I appreciate it. Well, no, Trump is a populist, but populism is not like a system of government. It's just a way that you approach institutions, right? Because you have like you have what people desire, what the institutions can do. Those are two different things. They're often actually opposing each other, and sometimes the populists are correct, sometimes they're not, right? Like when the government says you have free speech rights and it's in your First Amendment, and then someone goes out and says something that's very unpopular, even though the majority of society wants that person censored, the government, the proper role of government is to step in and protect his free speech rights and say, no. Even if the majority of people want him censored, he has this right as laid out by the Constitution. So you have what the population wants and what the government does, and they're not in alignment. And in fact, the government's correct in this case. And so it's the difference between what average people want and what government wants. And sometimes those things are not in alignment, and sometimes the people are correct, and sometimes the government's correct. It really just depends on what we're talking about. There's foam bricks to cross the street going into Granville Island in Vancouver. I have not been to Vancouver in over 10 years, dude. I don't know what's going on over there. Megalag, $2. Do you think Trump is a bit like Huey Long? Definitely. Though Huey Long might have been like a more like classical socialist type, you know? He was definitely approaching, like Huey Long was more approaching fascist territory than Donald Trump is. My dad rode his motorbike from Kitimat to southern Mexico in his 20s with only his driver's license. Canada, U.S., Mexico, once upon a time, travel was easy. Yeah, that's pre 9/11, man. That's pre 9/11. Coffee flowing. It's great. Oh, it's almost cold now. It was really warm at the start. We've been jibber jabbing for 45 minutes. It was really warm. The left radicalized me more right leaning than never. Devos are turning me more left leaning. Yeah, nice. How's your wife? I hope she's better. Naomi was never. Naomi did not have the problem. But I appreciate it. It was Dom who had the problem. Who has the problem? It's still going. Dom. I mentioned at the start of the show. But still, Dom's a good friend, and she's been on the channel before, and she's also she's the girlfriend of my best friend, whom I've known since I was 5 years old, and who is my channel editor. So, like, it's not my girlfriend, but still, it affected all of us. $20 from Terrace. You probably missed it last week, but at CPAC they put what they just claimed was an Iranian drone on display to show how brutal Iran is, but it was actually a Russian drone shot down in Ukraine with Russian text painted over. Oh, that's funny. Man. So, I have been thinking about Ukraine a bit because clearly, clearly Trump is pulling out of Ukraine, right? He's not going to help anymore. I know, and also, by the way, I know that that's popular in the United States. That like right-wing Americans do not want to spend more money in Ukraine. Okay, I mean, I disagree. But that's that's what you voted for. That's your right. So here's the issue, right? Trump is still acting like Ukraine and Europe will do what America wants, right? It's like, oh, they're going to listen to us. They're our vassals. They're going to do whatever we say. However, Trump is dismantling all of the mechanisms by which America holds influence over Europe. U.S. aid is going, right? No more aid money to the rest of the world, including Europe. NATO's going. Trump's pulling soldiers out of Eastern Europe, and because Russia frankly wants him to, right? No more munitions to Ukraine. So like, as Trump pulls apart all of the levers of soft power America wields over Europe, why does Trump think that Europe will do what America wants? Like, no, what America wants is for Europe to fuck off. Yeah, but no, that's not actually what's happening. That's not what's happening though. Like, Trump is saying, okay, now that I've dismantled all of my leverage over Europe, I'm going to come in and negotiate a peace with Russia, and we expect Europe to abide by it. And Europe's going to be like, why would we? Fuck you. Fuck you, dude. Like, it's so stupid. Like, Trump is actively making America's position weaker, and then still saying they'll listen to us, though. They're not going to listen. No, they're not going to fucking listen to it. No, it's not going to happen. Festivus says, it's simple. If Europe does not abide by it, we don't defend them. You're already not going to defend them. Like, listen, if Russia invades, like, Poland today, do you think America's going to defend Poland? The answer to that is no. No, he is not. It's not going to fucking happen. No, I don't think he will. Some people in the chat are saying that Russia can't defeat Ukraine. I think Russia can, and it probably will, to be honest. Okay. They're bound by NATO. Yeah, but... Okay. Do you think Trump... Okay, here. So Poland's invaded. The Poland government triggers Article 5. I can see the entirety of Europe, frankly, including the UK, even though they're not part of the EU, jumping to Poland's defense. All right? There will be a united Europe response. Canada would probably get involved too, for sure. Do you think America would get involved? Seriously? I don't think so, man. I don't think so. No, I seriously don't think so, guys. I do not agree that you'd be dragged into it. Okay, I later picked a works example. Fine. Russia attacks Germany then, which is not on good terms. It's still part of NATO, not on good terms. No, I don't. I really don't think so. I don't think so. Oh, here. Let me put it this way. Maybe America will be forced by some mechanism that I don't know to respond, but Trump will resist it. Trump will absolutely resist it. Yeah. It'd be like the World Wars. USA would join in, but only a few years in. Maybe. Oh no, I know America's going back to its isolationist roots now. That's true. However, it will be bad not only for the world, but bad for America. And Americans don't know how bad it's going to be for them, and they're kind of delusional, think it's going to be good. Hold on a second here. Old Dirty Luke, thanks for the sub. Dev, please release my family. It's been subscribed for 3 years already. Thanks, dude. I appreciate it, man. NATO countries are all bad examples. Article 5. No, Bill Skinner. I understand. Here's what I'm saying. I am saying that if Trump gets his way, he will ignore Article 5. Okay? I'm making that claim right now. Now, maybe Trump will be forced not to ignore it. Maybe there's something that Congress can do. But if Trump gets his way, he will ignore Article 5. coffee, done. Well, like I said, Bill Skinner, like I said, maybe there's some other mechanism that I don't know about. But if Trump gets his way, he'll ignore Article 5. Yeah. Are we just using vibes here, Dev? Not exactly. I'm using what Trump has said and done. You know, the overall project that in some ways is bigger than Trump, of returning America to its isolationist roots, means that America does not respond to Article 5. So the U.S. should be paying for everything, and the EU should never do nothing, and D1 has the right. No. I didn't say any of that, dude. Like, stop. This is the pancakes waffles shit all over again, isn't it? Like, I think that that European countries should spend way more on defense, and maybe now that Trump actually is pulling out, they'll get their asses in gear and they'll realize, oh shit, we can't just like no more free lunch. We got to start making our own weapons. And you know what? The French are already on the ball, right? Like Germany and Greece and these other places, they largely bought American weapons. The UK made some of their own weapons, but the UK also bought a lot of American weapons too. So a lot of these places are given things by the Americans. The French refused. The French outright refused any American weapons, and they built up their own military military capabilities. The French make all their own guns, all their own tanks, all their own rockets. They're like the French actually have the capability of just making weapons and not just buying them from the States. So I have a feeling that one, other countries are going to look at the French and be like, we got to be more like them. And two, the French will probably start pulling more weight in terms of Europe's defense. And frankly, the French seem to be happy to do it. Like I think Macron recently said that if Ukraine falls, the entirety of Europe will fall, and he's not going to let that happen. It's like shit. That's more backbone than I hear from Trump, even though Macron's kind of a fucking weirdo. I think if Trump does ignore Article 5, it will destroy the MAGA movement. I don't know, man. Like, so Sean King, I said, here's the thing, all right? Actually, you know, here, I will ask the chat. I'll ask the chat. At what point do you think it would be appropriate to remove Trump from office? Like, at what point should Congress be like, nope, we're impeaching him, and this time we're going to get it fucking done, and then he's removed, right? What's the line for you? Because I agree that, like, the first impeachment was kind of ridiculous. Like, back in 2018, whatever it was kind of weird. However, if Trump pulls America out of NATO, especially if he manages to do it somehow without congressional approval, like let's say that even though he needs the votes from Congress, Trump just says, hey, we're doing it. And the Supreme Court, being completely cucked and bent over for Trump, says, you know what, we're going to let it happen. Just complete corrupt bullshit, right? Completely outside of the written law. Trump manages to pull America outside of NATO, or out of NATO, right? At that point, Trump is like blatantly acting in Russian interest and needs to be removed. He needs to be removed from office. All right. When he gets caught doing anything expressly illegal outside of his constitutional power, well, see, that's why I was pro the second attempt to impeach him, because he did that in 2020. Let's see. $5 from Festiva. Only way Trump agrees is if we will come to save you, but we will own you once we bail you out. Yet again, you want Europe to join the United States? $5. Just haven't seen. Very may well try. But why does Trump seem more proof Putin? What do you mean by that? Why does Trump seem more proof Putin? I don't know. I don't understand. Sorry. Terrace, $5. Trump's repeated $350 billion statement tells me he's willing to make up things to justify decisions when he lacks real reasons. Oh yeah, Trump's always done that. He's always done that. It sounds like at the beginning of another Trump would never do that to, yeah, he did it in his it's based cycle. Yeah. Like the Trump tariffs thing taught me that it wasn't just memes. Like maybe it was just memes in the first in his first term. Or just trolling, we do a little trolling. At this point, though, the memes are becoming things he's actually doing. So I'm just like, nope, Nope. I'm not taking that as an excuse anymore. Velazari, $10. Trump ignores the Budapest Memorandum. He will ignore the Article 5. Russia will have manufactured some causes belli if they have corruption, biolabs, and Nazis in Parliament too. MAGA tards will gladly wallow it. Yeah, I think so too, unfortunately. You mean pro-Putin? Yeah, maybe. Oh, it was pro? Okay. Let me read it again real quick. Why does Trump seem more pro-Putin? This is just me speculating, okay? I have no evidence. This is just vibes this is the dev vibes. I think Trump has melted his brain with too much social media use. Seriously. Like, I think, like, he is way different than he was in 2016. And some of it's going to be age, but it's not just age. I think Trump has actually, like brain broken himself. Like, he's been mind raped, basically. Because when you see him in 2015 and 2016, like during the primaries, he's sharp, he's funny, he's on the ball, he knows exactly what to say. And then you see him talking in 2020 after he lost the election, and he's talking to like his DOJ, his DOJ is telling him, "Listen, dude, there's no evidence that the election was rigged." And Trump says to those guys, "You need to be on the internet more. You got to be following what I see on the internet." Like, I'm like, dude, you live in your own fucking reality, man. Like, I think Trump is actually just brain raped. Let's see here. I'll watch later. Here's $2. Keep making vids. Thank you very much, Alexander. I appreciate it. Russia's been pretty much supposed to be like World War II incompetent, like World War II Italy incompetent. Yeah, in a ways, for sure. Bellskin, $20. Ukraine isn't a NATO nation. I don't like us leaving Ukraine, but using it as a basis for America leaving NATO is poor logic. NATO is America. It is how we power project. It has no other reason to exist. Article 5 works. Listen, Bill Skinner, I agree with you. I agree with you. However, I think Trump will dismantle it. I do not think the Republicans want to be able to project that power anymore. I don't think the Republicans care about NATO anymore. MAGA doesn't. Tidge, this is a news politics channel. What do you think we're going to talk about? Dev, getting shot at changes you. No, I agree. Doesn't make him any better at the job, though. Do you think the Democrats will define what a woman? No, they won't. Nah. Actually, you know what's funny is like the whole "what a woman" thing has basically been like the stonewall against the left. The left always just like twists themselves into pretzels, looking like fucking retards trying to answer the question, "What is a woman?" And it's like, you guys are stupid. You shouldn't have fallen for this. But then I saw like Trump calls someone who's a woman, by the way, like biological woman, like female, born with a vagina, calls him a man. And I'm like, now we're now switching into like different territory now. We're like people who are, let's say, biologically female, but they're like lesbians or something. We're gonna start calling them men. It's like you're making the same mistake. You're doing the same fucking like dumb. It's retarded, man. Like, all the same traps are being deployed. Okay, I saw libs of TikTok complaining that the Gulf of America was being dead named, and I'm like, okay, I get the joke, but I also know this isn't just a joke. All right, like you're using dead name because you're referencing the trans thing. Yeah, I get it. But also, libs of TikTok, they're actually going to be mad that someone doesn't go along with Trump on this issue, even though it's fucking small and like stupid, because they're libs of TikTok, right? They're Trump partisans, and I'm just like, the right is becoming the right's adopting everything about the left that I hated. The right is adopting everything about the left that I've hated over the years, and I'm just like, you guys are becoming insufferable. I cannot support these fucking people. I can't. Oversized Trash Panda, $5. I didn't pay attention when leftoids renamed Columbus Day, and I'm not going to pay attention when rightoids renamed the Gulf of Mexico. Exactly, baby. Fuck that bullshit. Literally shaking over a troll. No, you don't understand. Okay. You don't get it, all right? I appreciate a good troll. I like people clutching their pearls and laughing. I like when you say something that you obviously don't mean to get a rise out of somebody. And they go, oh, I can't believe, oh. But MAGA has shifted away from just trolling, all right? We're now at the point where the guy who like approached the girl and then said it was just a joke and then says, haha, unless, like that's where MAGA is now, where there's actual real opinions mixed in with the trolls and they're using the trolling as a cover for them. Like it's not just trolling. Cthulhu only swims left. All of Trump's top guys are 90s Democrats. What do you expect? Tidge, I completely reject the 90s Democrats thing too. All right? I completely reject the 90s Democrats thing too. Like, I get it. Even Trump himself is a 90s Democrat, right? Trump is currently doing things that no 90s Democrat would have ever done. All right? Like, if Russia attacked Ukraine under Bill Clinton's watch, do you think Bill Clinton would be making these like these crazy deals or like letting Russia do whatever it wants, not offering Ukraine support? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. All right. The Trump's a 90s Democrat thing is off the table now. Absolutely not. No. You could say that about him. You could absolutely say that about him in 2016. Not now. Not now. Adam Unfriended, thanks for the $10. Deb, your girlfriend Food Shop is back from streaming. When are you going to talk to the Act Man? Like you said, you would eventually. Right wing being left wing is suspected horseshoe theory. Yeah, I know what you mean, dude. I know what you mean with horseshoe theory. Yeah, I've talked to Food Shops. It's good that she's back. Food Shops has a real life job that requires her to keep her identity private. So she doesn't. She took a big break when she first got the job to like make sure that her real life stuff was all set up, and now she's coming back, and good for her. The thing with Ackman is that he kept rescheduling because he didn't have time, and then I didn't have time because of the stuff that happened in December. Like I still talk to him occasionally, but it's one of those things where it's like we'll probably do it eventually, but it's very back burner now. Like he ran out of time, then I ran out of time, then he ran out of time, and it's like oh fuck. But I mean, I still occasionally DM him. He still occasionally DMs me. Maybe it'll happen one day. And so far as MAGA's limit online politics, I wonder if years of Twitter Euro is resenting us for our military presence is influencing isolationism. Yeah, probably is. Yes, it probably is. I'm saying that about his picks. They were literal Democrats. Yes, Tidge, but the same thing applies, right? Like, what RFK is doing is not what 90s Democrats would do. All right, 90s Democrats were not anti-vaccine. All right. What Tulsi Gabbard, what she has under her belt, is not what 90s Democrats were doing, right? Like all of Trump's people being ex-Democrats means nothing when they have changed sufficiently to no longer actually be like 90s Democrats. Yes, they literally were zero fucks, but they are not anymore. That's kind of the point here. They aren't anymore. Jasso Havens, $5. I'll be so disappointed if Trump inadvertently winds up helping Russia rebuild into some sort of legitimate powerhouse. I actually see your point, Dev. I recall reading last week that Russia has an extra 150,000 troops doing exercises in Belarus right now, which was exactly what they did before they invaded Ukraine. So maybe the northern front in Ukraine opens up again now that Trump's withdrawing. Maybe Putin goes somewhere else. Like who fucking knows? Dev, post the whole anti-Dev arc. Do you still feel your audience leads conservative? Are there even meaningful amounts of anti-mega conservatives left? There are not meaningful amounts of anti-mega conservatives left. I have more centrists than I used to have in this community. I have more left-leaning people in this community now than I used to have. The people who are right-leaning who are here, a lot of them are actually just hate watchers. Not all of them, obviously. Not all of them, Hold on. Let me adjust here. Ah. Oof. But no, I think like the people who are explicitly right wing, they don't come around anymore. They've definitely moved. They've definitely moved on. And it sucks. But I mean, that's how it is, you know? People like their echo chambers. To go back to the start, this is another one of those things that the right has adopted from the left, is that the left heavily demanded in the 2010s their echo spaces, their echo chambers, their safe spaces, right? They did not want to debate anyone on the right because they're platforming them and they're legitimizing them. You know, these ideas should not be debated. They should be punched. You know, you have to smash the fash. You know, all that bullshit. And now the right wing wants echo chambers, right? If you're a left winger or even a centrist who goes on to a right wing podcast, they boo and scream and they stop watching and they flip out. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. They want their echo chambers. Yeah, absolute conformity and punishment for those that don't comply happens. Oh, dude, the right wing's full of that right now. The right wing is so fucking full of that right now. It's kind of crazy that the right wing is full of that right now, because they weren't, like, 10 years ago. The right wing was all very much like free speech, open debate. We consider other ideas, and now you have like people like, okay, do you recall when when Kyle Rittenhouse came out and said that he wanted to vote for Libertarian candidate rather than Donald Trump? And the entirety of the online right-wing ecosystem just butt-fucked this kid. Like, every right-wing creator was like, you're a traitor to Trump. I can't believe you fucking support you. And, like, he had to come out later and be like, I'm sorry, guys. And it's like, dude. The right-wingers they act like leftists from 10 years ago. I'm like, holy fuck, man. Yeah, I cannot support them for the same reasons that I cannot support the left. I just can't. Every is a strong word here. Some prominent instead. Okay, let me put it here. Every prominent. Okay, I can't think of like a single right winger who was sticking up for Kyle Rittenhouse. You know. I think JD Vance would be a good pick for 2028. I mean, electorally probably. But in terms of does he have policies I agree with? Not really. Have you seen V's video on YouTube today? I saw part of it. Yeah, I saw part of it. Oh yeah, private voting. Oh god, dude, a core component of democracy was private voting, so that people don't feel pressured. And you have MAGA people screaming to remove private voting now, so they know who the traitors are. It's like, oh my god, you guys are fucking terrible. Oh geez, dude, the right's basically the left. I mean, I agree, actually. Yes, I do. Trump was a 90s Democrat 30 years ago. Yeah, but that was 30 years ago, right? What super chat am I missing? Boomer? Oh, zoink, Scoob. That's the joke. Man. Wait, will Dev ever address the problem of technology, or will he just distract us with culture war nonsense? What do you mean? I mean, what do you mean by problem of technology? Do you mean like the fact that automation and AI is coming for everyone's jobs? I can talk about that if you want. Oh, let me set another goal. Thanks for all the support today, guys. I do appreciate it quite a bit. Anyway, in terms of like Dev, your audience, like what's going on with that? Like, views in the latest videos are actually pretty good. Subs are still going down. I'll probably hit 148,000 relatively soon, but views are still like solid, right? Like, I'm looking at the decline of Starbucks video on my back end. I have 4,000 more views than normal, than average. Okay? My racist against white people video is, let's see here. It is slightly behind what my views normally are at this point. My airplane crash video views in that are pretty low. Elon Musk Nazi salute video views in that are average. Consent is not enough video views are above average by about like 20,000. Like my views and my revenue have hovered about the same as they were before the Trump assassination attempt. Like things are like my audience is definitely contracting. I mean, live viewers are still down. You know, I used to get like 1,000 on the weekly sip sometimes, not anymore. But like in terms of just how the channel is doing, it's things seem to be breaking even. I think I've plateaued. I think I've plateaued out. $4 from Noomer. Thank you very much. Since you weren't on the Archcast yesterday, you get the full tip, Dev. Thanks. I'm still waiting for that "What Fascists Get Right" video. Ooh, that's a spicy one. Gotta think about it. Seki Jokes. Thank you, man. Your mistake was believing in the better angels of humanity, Dev. Drop your worthless faith and create mercenary states like Big Boss and Metal Gear. Thanks, man. I'm unfriended. $5. Twitter. Dev is burning bridges. Soy cuck maple syrup in his veins. Canadian. Dev Giga Chad nods yes. See you later, Sean. Thanks for being here, man. Subs have basically meant nothing since the October 2023 algorithm changes. Yeah, kind of. I think like having a higher sub channel still boosts your videos a little bit more. And definitely having subs actively leaving your channel will deboost your videos. I experienced that, but I think it doesn't matter that much. Dude, James Hurley is here. Dude, weren't you just like raging it out at me on Twitter like yesterday? Are you that guy? I think you are. Let's see. I gotta see if it is. Hold on a second. Yeah, James Hurley. James Hurley says, Dev, stop being a fucking victim. I just think you're a snake. I don't obsessively hate you. Go fuck yourself, Dev. Try harder. You call me Canadian cuckold. I'm a centrist. Dev, you chase troons, boy, man. Dev, you are a sick freak. Fuck off, Dev. You defended the FBI for limiting the Weaver family during Ruby Ridge. Don't trust Dev at all. He's a backstabber and a two-faced piece of crap. He defended the bullying of activist mobs going after picking me, a VTuber, and tried to start shit with Kirsch. Oh my god, all the things are coming out. Dev bullied her for playing Hogwarts Legacy. It's amazing. James, what are you doing? Dev flew both planes during 9/11. Every inaccurate talking point. They're all fucking there, dude. Also, I would debate Melanie Mack, but I know how that debate would go, though. She would make religious arguments that I don't care about because I'm not religious, and vice versa. All right. Get out of here. Dev doesn't always put the shopping cart back. Dude, okay. Forget about Melanie Mack or JF Trent. It was wild. It was wild to see. It was wild to see Razor Fist come out and go on like the woke right side of things. Like, what the fuck? I did not see that coming at all. Sigarther, no, not yet. Dev called Disney a revolver. No. Okay, Razorfist came out, and he was like on the side of, you know, getting the big boobs out of video games for like religious reasons. I'm just like, what? Wait, I saw it coming. Razorfist has been a lolcow for ages. He just doesn't have that reputation because he's funny and well spoken. I mean, I don't agree with you on that. I generally like Razorfist stuff. I disagree with him a lot, but I like him. I know that Razorfist Christian. I didn't think he was moving into censorship territory though. As someone who used to follow Razorfist, you can actually see the progression. Razor dumped 5 years of growth in his channel descent from Melanie. Damn. Like, you know what's funny? Is that, like, there's a video I made in 2019, okay? Called The Moral Justice Warrior. And it was me noticing that there was going to be in the near future a right-wing version of the SJW. This is before woke was a term. And some right-wingers who watched my channel got really offended at that, but I was correct, right? I remember doing a video about Richard Spencer and how, like, his crash out when he was freaking out, like, it was recorded when he was, like, losing it. And, like, I did a video about how he's, like, a fucking loser. And there were right-wingers in my audience back then. Like, this was, like, 2018 or something, or 2020, whatever. They were losing it at me, like, how, Dev, you can't critique the right. And, like, there was, I did a video, I did a video on the alt-right's Asian fetish, where you have, like alt-right guys or libertarian guys who end up with Asian wives, sometimes traps, right? And people were screaming, Dev, you can't critique us. And I'm just like, I wonder why so many people think that I'm right wing. Because I can go over like every year of my content and find critiques of the right in my content, all the way back to the start. Like, there was a trans person who pinged me on Twitter, and she was like, "Aren't you like a reactionary?" And I was like, "No." Well, didn't you hang out with Sargon? Yeah, but doesn't mean that I agree with him. Like, what? It's fuck. I don't know, man. You know, it's because you were anti-left. Yeah, maybe that's all it was. Like, I'm anti-right and I'm anti-left. So fuck, dude. The right perceived you as an ally, so when you critique you, then you interpret as betrayal. Yeah, probably. Yeah. Think they will get BTFO'd? Maybe, Firesky. Maybe. Thank you. Thank you very much. Anti-left, I just want a game. Like, I am very much sort of like a normal moderate, you know? Yeah, hold on. Because the left is so far left now that a basic leftist take sounds like a far right opinion these days. I've heard the opposite. I've heard that the right is so far right now that a basic rightist take sounds leftist. I can pull up easily right now people who are like, Dev, you're clearly a leftist. And then the guy's like, Dev, you're clearly right wing. It's like, what the fuck? Okay. All right, dude. I'm amazed they didn't expose your worst offense, being the boulder for Sisyphus. Thanks, Willison. Thank you very much. Oh yeah, Shockwave. Dude, go look at Academic Agent, right? He is fully on the Trump is a leftist train. Oh yeah, both sides are radicalizing, yeah. I've been called an SJW while owning a MAGA hat. Okay. Oh man. We've been chilling for like an hour and a half, guys. I didn't even read any articles today. Do you guys even want me to read the articles? Explain Trump as a leftist? If you go very, very, very far right, you will find that people who, one, are not ethnonats, and you have like blacks for Trump and stuff. So Trump is not viewed as an ethnonat. Like he's viewed as like a product of like low class base American culture, and how it's all like mixed. So that's one way he's viewed as a leftist. The other way is that to be at all, one, interested in democracy, and two, interested in a republican government, like a republic, not a kingdom or a monarchy. Those things make Trump a leftist. I knew the right wing backstep was coming ever since Gamergate. Oh yeah, it came several times. Vosh or that corn cob guy for the other team. Yeah. Read the articles. Read. Yeah, I'll read the articles, guys. I'll read the articles. Do you guys not like just talking to me for like an hour and a half anyway? Just like hanging out? Yeah, leftist here just means like post. It's not post Renaissance. It's post Enlightenment. That's what it is. Post Enlightenment ideology. Oh. See you later, Nathan Topor. Oh man, I'm just the coffee's all done. So, well, no. Once I finally have to move again, I will probably do more regular streams. I've been talking about it for years, like since pre-COVID, that I would stream more often. Not video games, but streams like this more often. And just didn't have space in the old place. Don't have space in the current place. So, grumble, 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 grumble. Oh, hold on, sorry. Hey, Megabet. I thought you were really close to moving. Left you on the way. I don't know how much of the situation I've even made public about the moving situation, but basically, where I'm currently living, the house could be sold, and we might have to move. However, the timeline on the house being sold is it's a very wide timeline. So, don't know. Don't know, man. Don't know. Hey, Ninja Ask, what's up, man? There are so many things that I want to do when I have enough space to do them, including more community stuff. Like right now, I'm basically sitting inside a fucking closet. Terrace, thanks for the $5. P.S. Trump just claimed victory for the party who won in the German election despite everyone else in his orbit explicitly endorsing the party. Yeah, of course Trump would. Of course. But yes, that just means he's in the closet. No, basically what's happening is the place that I'm currently living in, if it gets sold, we have to move. And it might be sold. It could be sold in the next month. It could be sold in the next 6 months. I just don't know. Living here was always kind of temporary, you know? And so, because things have been so up in the air, I haven't like really set up like a long-term office here and like really put in the work of like renovating anything. I've just been like, you know what, we're only going to be here temporarily. It's kind of stressful not being totally secure in the place that you're living. Think about how hard living in the closet is. Thanks. Thanks, lives in Devil Walls. Okay, let's talk articles. I got a few. Scientists have developed a new method for the perfect boiled egg. We've perfected it after thousands of years, guys. If you think you have your egg boiling technique down to a science, there is still a chance you haven't prepared the perfect boiled egg. Boiling an egg flawlessly is challenging because the albumen, or the egg white, and the yolk have different compositions, requiring them to be cooked at varying temperatures to achieve ideal taste and consistency. But now scientists say they've officially cracked the code with a technique known as periodic cooking. This new method involves alternating the eggs between hot and lukewarm water cycles to optimally cook the albumen and yolk simultaneously without separating them. Wow. A new study published in the February 6th journal Communications Engineering. Not only does periodic cooking produce the ideal texture and flavor for both the albumen and the yolk, but it also helps the egg retain the greatest amount of nutrients with proven health benefits, compared with other popular methods such as hard boiling or sous vide, whatever that is. As a chef, this method makes perfect sense, says a San Francisco-based registered dietitian. Okay. People often forget that cooking is incredibly scientific. So, how do you do it? How do you do it, guys? So the team developed mathematical models and simulations that predict how heat transfers through the yolk, which helps them identify the ideal cooking conditions for both the albumen and the yolk. Okay. To test periodic cooking, the team filled a kitchen pot with tap water and heated it to the desired temperature on the stovetop. Researchers placed a food thermometer in both the hot and the lukewarm water to ensure consistent temperatures throughout the cooking process. The team then cooked fresh, shell-on hen eggs using 4 methods: hard boiling, soft boiling, whatever the fuck sous vide is, sous vide, okay, and new periodic cooking technique. Okay, so 40 eggs per cooking method. Hard-boiled eggs were cooked for 12 minutes, soft-boiled ones for 6 minutes, sous vide for 65 degrees Celsius for 1 hour. And for periodic method, scientists alternated submerging eggs for 2 minutes in the boiling water at 100 C and lukewarm water at 30 C. The cycle was repeated 8 times for 82 minutes. Okay. The traditional methods resulted in consistently increasing internal temperatures throughout the egg. The periodic method maintained a constant yolk temperature of 67 C, while the albumen reaching temperatures ranging from 87 to 100 C in hot water and 30 to 55 in lukewarm water. This dynamic heat distribution allows both the albumen and the yolk to achieve their ideal textures and consistency. So, you guys want to boil your... By the way, I actually don't like runny eggs. Like, this is the minimum that I will have my yolk be. Like, I want those yolks, like, pure yellow hard. You know? Hard and chalky. I don't like runny yolk at all in my eggs. But still. Yeah. He shared his periodically cooked eggs with friends and family. They were amazed with the contrast of the textures of the albumen and the yolk. Oh my god, it's so good, guys. Okay, you guys wanna... I'm gonna cancel them immediately. You guys wanna try this out? This ideal way to boil a fucking yolk? Or boil an egg? Oh, okay. It's a cooking food in a vacuumed bag in circulating hot water so that maximum surface area is achieved without getting the food wet. Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah. Worst stick you ever had. The method is... It was down here. You alternate submerging the eggs for 2 minutes in boiling water at 100 degrees Celsius and then 2 minutes in lukewarm water for 30 degrees Celsius. Repeat for 8 times for 32 minutes. Just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth for 32 minutes. It's wild. Okay. Trump and Elon's pointless bloodbath at the FAA is even worse than you think. Oh my god. The Trump administration fired several FAA lawyers who were tasked with helping keep reckless and drunk pilots out of the skies. Oops. Terrace, thanks for the $5. Plot twist. This guy's a German and everyone is saying he made a good joke. Thanks, man. Oh no, the article was available yesterday. Okay. I'll try to find it. Let's go to archive.org. Archive.org. Give us the fucking articles. Come on. Jesus Christ, dude. Would you load up already? Holy fuck. I think a lot of sites make articles paywall after the first few days. Okay, here we go. Let's zoom in a bit. Late last week, just as President's Day weekend was starting, Donald Trump and Elon Musk purged hundreds of Federal Aviation Administration employees, including multiple lawyers whose job it was to help prevent pilots with drug and alcohol problems from getting in the cockpit. That sounds fucking retarded. Okay, the mass job cuts at the FAA hit multiple legal offices at the agency, which are part of the Department of Transportation. Different kinds of lawyers were abruptly let go, blindsiding numerous staffers and officials who could not see much rhyme or reason behind these dismissals. Why are you blurry? What the fuck happened? That just deleted the entire article. Okay. Don't you dare. It blurred as soon as I rolled down. Like, why? Okay, dude. Dev needs glasses. Fuck you. Let's try a different fucking one. Good God. Rolling Stone's paywall foo is too strong. Okay, let's see here. It's such a pointless bloodbath, says the second source, who, like others, was granted anonymity. Every time we try to figure out why this is done, the answers you get from the Trump and Musk guys usually amount to, because we can. Because we can. GigaChat. Okay. Here, is it going to blur this time? It doesn't seem like it. Wow! As soon as I brought it down to this monitor, it blurred again. I was reading it just fine up there. What the fuck? Okay. 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 Can you copy and text the paste into a notepad? Maybe. I'll try a different site. Maybe a different one has it. Though archive.today has gone massively downhill. This one seems to be working. We'll do this. Yeah. Musk and his team at the so-called Department of Government Efficiency have axed probationary employees across the federal workforce as part of Trump's lawless clampdown. They're really skewing this, aren't they? Such employees are typically new hires, though they can also be long-time workers who have received promotions. Either way, these workers have lower workplace protections for a year, making them attractive targets for Trump's brute force strategy to shrink the government. The Musk firing offensive has already created significant problems. Those axed included federal employees responsible for nuclear weapons safety and workers leading the agricultural department's response to bird flu. Like, what a fucking blunder, dude. What a fucking blunder. Yeah, we gotta save money. What do you want to do? Hire the nuclear weapons safety... fire the nuclear weapons safety guys. Like, how stupid. How fucking dumb. Okay. Regarding their FAA cuts, Musk and the Trump White House have tried to argue they skipped over anyone whose role might be considered safety critical. It's a bunch of bullshit, one current FAA worker said. The definition of critical can be fucked around with as much as they like. We were already underfunded and understaffed. While air traffic controllers were supposedly immune, some air traffic control support workers were terminated, the FAA says. Rolling Stone spoke separately with a fired FAA employee whose job involved ensuring flight paths account for hazards like cranes and new buildings, as well as another terminated FAA staffer who ensures that pilots are medically able and cleared to fly. No one wants their plane to cross paths with a crane, but the latter role is important too, given the nation's ongoing pilot shortage. One confounding round of firings last week one that confused even agency personnel who were anticipating the Trump bloodletting. Included several attorneys who work to ensure that licensed pilots in the United States aren't putting the broader public in danger or hiding criminal records, health concerns, or serious addictions. Like, is this not really bad? Is this? Yeah. I get it, right? I get it. Rolling Stone is cringe, guys. I get it. Is this not really fucking bad? This work in the Aviation Litigation Division involves investigating flight schools that improperly or negligently train pilots, potentially suspending the license of private or commercial airline pilots who get DUIs and other relevant criminal charges that would suggest it is unwise to allow them to fly planes full of passengers. Dealing with commercial pilots if they're caught engaging in reckless or unsafe behavior, or lying about a drinking problem or an illicit drug dependency. Wow. Okay. Just not checking if the pilots are druggies anymore. Ocean Gate all over again. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Goodwin, thank you. Dev, you gotta make sacrifices, Dev. We gotta do it. Oh. No. You could just not fire these people. Like, that's an option, you know? This is so stupid. So, across the country, the FAA employs just dozens of these types of lawyers who handle this kind of enforcement. Last week, Trump and Musk abruptly got rid of several of them, which some estimated to be upwards of 10% of an already overworked legal team. This was handled so chaotically by the Trump administration and Musk's Doge that some of those fired lawyers' bosses were caught off guard by the news. Wait, you're forgetting the lie of omission that any of these people were actually doing their job as described. You need proof that they weren't. Give me the proof. Give me the proof. So, the terminated FAA staffer who had worked to medically certify pilots similarly says their own firing came as a surprise, given all the aviation crashes and things going on. Though they note that since Trump took office, it's been one shitstorm after another. The FAA continues to hire and onboard air traffic controllers and safety professionals, apparently, including mechanics and others to support them. The agency has retained employees who perform safety critical functions. That is what the department has said. Okay. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy was booed at an event in Los Angeles as he attempted to defend the mass firings. He said the fired employees were probationary and thus not the highest skilled of the FAA, and the department exempted people who work in critical safety positions. He added that if anyone argues the job cuts will have an impact on air travel, that's a political game that is being played. Okay. So listen. Here's the thing. It is possible that these are all a bunch of people who should have been fired, and they're all just salty about it. But it's also possible that this is a fucking shit show. Okay? And you cannot possibly say that it's definitively one or the other. I personally lean towards shit show. This is pretty bad because this is pretty bad, but we'll have to see. Like, we'll have to see if things start getting worse. And of course, this is all about the crashes. Yeah. Okay. Wait. Elon Musk offered up the services of his aerospace company SpaceX to the FAA to help make air travel safer. And some of Musk's SpaceX engineers have already been brought on board as senior advisors to the FAA. Okay, listen. You can't. Can you guys not see the obvious corruption here? The obvious corruption here, guys. Trump guts the FAA. Elon Musk comes in with his privately owned company, says, "Let us help." And then a bunch of Musk's guys get jobs. You can't see the corruption here. It's so fucking obvious. It's so obvious, dude. Fire government workers and give my company jobs. Yeah, it's obvious conflict of interest. It's so fucking blatant, dude. It's so fucking blatant. We are replacing the dirty bench with a clean one. Dude, all of the crying about Hunter Biden and Burisma and Chinese money and like George Soros. Dude, this is more overt than anything Biden did. Period. This is sabotage. If Saskatchewan can't have air travel, no one else can either. Thanks, Zab11. Thank you. Anyway, this is ridiculous. I can't wait for the shit show. Listen, I want you guys to completely understand this, all right? If I'm correct and everything actually gets worse in the States, like if things just get worse, I'm gonna laugh, right? Like when Trump fans come up and it's like, oh my god, I made a mistake. Everything's so bad. I'm gonna laugh. I'm gonna be like, you know, you deserve this. You chose this. You wanted this. You've earned this. You deserve this. All right. I will act the way that Sargon's currently acting. You sow the wind and you reap the whirlwind. It's gonna happen, dude. It's gonna fucking happen. What's next, by the way? If things get better, well then that's great too, right? That'll be great. Like if I'm just completely wrong and things get better, like, oh dude, because I was wrong. Like I also want things to get better, you know? If I'm just wrong and things get better, then that's still good. That's still good, right? Okay. Whitefeather and Lance have been found guilty on 31 counts relating to treatment of their kids. Okay. I may have covered this story several years ago, but the court case has finally ended, so let's talk about it. After 12 days of trial, a Kanawha County jury found Sissonville parents Gene K. Whitefeather and Donald Ray Lance guilty on 31 counts related to the treatment of 4 of their 5 adopted black children. This is a white couple, by the way. They were charged with 35 counts combined. On the charge of trafficking a minor, defined in part as isolating or maintaining an individual to engage in forced labor, they were both found guilty on 4 counts. On the charge of civil rights violations, defined in part as preventing the enjoyment of an individual's constitutional rights because of their race, color, or ancestry, Whitefeather was found guilty on 4 counts. Yeah, this is in the United States. Lance was found not guilty on 4 counts of civil rights violations. Okay. It was Whitefeather who used derogatory terms for the children, not Lance. On the charge of using a minor in forced labor, defined in part as using threats of harm to obtain activity with economic value, the couple was found guilty on 4 counts each. On the charge of gross child neglect that created a substantial risk of serious bodily injury and death, both were found guilty of 3 counts. On the charge of child abuse causing bodily injury, Whitefeather was found guilty of 4 counts relating to her spraying with the children with bear repellent. Okay. And then Lance hit the oldest boy, so 1 count. So, these people adopted, this white couple here adopted 4 black children and basically forced them to work, like as slaves. They were just slaves in the modern era. They forced these kids to work because they were black. The children testified about maltreatment by their parents, including being isolated, pepper sprayed, and having access to the bathroom, food, and water were controlled. Evidence showed that only the 4 oldest children were maltreated. The youngest one was not. Okay. $10 from Jacobus Peterson. As a space firster, I think the only reason Elon got involved in U.S. politics is that the various agencies delayed the Starship program one too many times. It's very possible. It's very possible, yes. Thank you for the $10, though. I appreciate it. So, these people fostered over 30 children in Minnesota, typically in emergency care, where they wanted to adopt. They adopted 5 kids. Let's see here. Where's the actual story of what happened? Oh my god. Whitefeather was hitting with a whip. Jesus. They ran away from home. Locked her in a room for 2 weeks because she ran away. Older boy wasn't getting medical attention they needed. He was fed peanut butter sandwiches. He had a bucket for a toilet. Holy fuck. Yeah, here it is. Okay. So they moved to West Virginia. The house they moved into was a temporary move. Wasn't big enough for the family. They were in the process of moving to a property in Beckley when the couple was arrested. Neighbors so the kids were building a pen, carrying water. Where's this the story? Okay, I can't find the fucking story. Oh, they locked in the shed outside. Okay, yeah. All right. So basically they had like an animal farm, and they just forced these kids to work on it and not send them to school, and not like like they would beat them when they wouldn't work, and they wouldn't feed them, and they were just like expected to work the farm in perpetuity. And it's like, wow, dude. Holy fuck. So they've been found guilty of 31 charges. So I guess sentencing comes next. But this is fucking wild, guys. Okay. Trump has canceled Biden's ethics rules. Okay. We gotta take a look at this. Okay. Let's see. Donald Trump's opening his second term by rolling back prohibitions on executive branch employees accepting major gifts from lobbyists, and ditching bans on lobbyists seeking executive branch jobs for 2 years. Okay, dude. So, Trump issued a day one executive order that rescinded one on ethics that former President Joe Biden signed in January 2021. Okay. Here's what Biden signed, okay? So, ethics commitments by executive branch personnel. Every appointee in every executive agency on or after January 20th, 2021 shall sign, and upon signing shall be contractually committed to the following pledge. I recognize that this pledge is a part of broader ethics in government designed to restore and maintain public trust in government, and I commit myself to conduct consistent with that plan. I commit to decision-making on the merits and exclusively in the public interest, without regard to private gain or personal benefit. I commit to conduct that upholds the independence of law enforcement and precludes improper interference with investigative or prosecutorial decisions of the Department of Justice. I commit to ethical choices of post-government employment that do not raise the appearance that I have used my government service for private gain, including by using confidential information acquired in relationship established but for the benefit of future clients. So there is a lobbyist gift ban, a revolving door plan. So all appointees entering government cannot, for a period of 2 years from the date of my appointment, participate in any particular matter involving specific parties that is directly and substantially related to my former employer. Right. So you cannot be involved in work that you did privately in the government. Okay. They're closing the revolving door ban for lobbyists or registered agents. Okay. Senior and very senior appointees leaving government. If, upon my departure from the government, I am covered by the post-employment restrictions. In addition, for a period of 1 year following the end of my appointment, I will not materially assist others in making communications or appearances that I am prohibited from undertaking myself. Okay, so this is all stuff that bans the revolving door between government and private corporations. Okay? This is all stuff that Biden immediately signed in on day one, January 20th, 2021. Okay. Let's see. Bunch of more ethics. Okay. There's a bunch of limitations on what executive branch employees can do. And Trump has canceled it. Trump's canceled it. Wow. Okay, Tidge. If you want to critique that some of Biden, that some people in Biden's White House didn't follow the ethics guidelines, okay, you can make that argument. Do you think it's better or worse to cancel it, though? To cancel it entirely and just let employees do all this shit? Okay. Okay, yeah. So this is all Trump making money off cryptocurrency, whatever, it doesn't really matter. Let's see. So The Trump Organization has instituted a voluntary agreement that forbids making deals with foreign governments, but not with private companies abroad. Okay. Trump is opening the floodgates for conflicts of interest and exploiting his power in office in hopes of making billions of dollars in the backs of taxpayers. Instead of focusing on the needs of the American people, Trump's only interest is to secure a next deal to line his pockets. Okay. Wow. Well, listen, Biden signed this. Maybe it wasn't consistently enforced, but he signed it. It was an attempt. Trump has now removed it. It's gone. It's no longer even being attempted to be enforced. It's no longer. It's not in the books. It's gone. So, okay. All right. While seeking re-election, Trump sold Bibles, gold sneakers, photo books, and diamond-encrusted watches. Oh, hey, Phil, that remains. What's up, man? Dude, I'm pretty right. I'm still here. I think he's behind. But yeah. So this is pretty bad. All right. This is not draining the swamp. Trump himself has in the past has criticized the revolving door of people who move from government positions to post in government and back, but he's removed the restrictions that fucking. Okay. Wait. Would it be hypocritical if I said that, frankly, I don't care if Elon enriches himself? If you complained about Biden enriching himself, yes, it would. Yeah, it absolutely would be hypocritical. Yes. Like either it's corrupt or it's not, dude. Either it's corrupt or it's not. So yeah. A more immediate impact of Trump scrapping Biden's order might be that it gives former members of the Democratic administration additional employment opportunity. Oh, that's one thing. Yeah, so as Trump fires everyone, maybe this will help them get new jobs. Feel better, best 4D object. Feel better. So yeah. This seems kind of ridiculous, but who knows? Maybe Trump is just trying to help those poor Democrats find jobs. Alleged head of the Zizan cult arrested and is linked to an agent's death near the Canadian border. Oh my god, dude. So, the apparent leader of a cult-like group known as the Zizans, or Zizians, whatever, who have been tied to the killings of 6 people, including the death of a U.S. Border Patrol agent near the Canadian border last month, has been arrested. Jack Ziz Lasota, 34, was arrested on Sunday along with Michelle Zajko, 32, and Daniel Blank, 26. They face multiple charges, including trespassing, obstructing, and hindering and possession of a handgun in the vehicle. Here they are. Here's the cultists, guys. Although all 3 were charged after a resident told police that 3 suspicious people had parked 2 box trucks on his property and asked to camp there for a month. Dev, the Inuvialut oil project, got approved. Awesome! Fuck yeah. Dude, that's fucking based. Actually, hold on. If Phil's still here, Phil, you should check out my racism versus white people video. It's up your alley. I know Phil really likes my Gramsci video, so I think you should watch, and you all should watch, my racism versus white people video. It's very similar. It tracks the history of the thing through all the left-wing nonsense. Okay, let's see here. They were dressed in black. 2 wore gun belts holding ammunition. Officers found a rifle in the back of one truck and a handgun on the floorboard. Zajko, who refused to put her hands behind her back, was taken to the ground, was carrying a handgun. Resisting arrest, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Yeah. The judge in the case ordered Lasota, who identifies as a transgender woman, be held without bail at a hearing Tuesday, citing concerns about her being a flight risk. So who the fuck are the Zizans? What the fuck? Okay. Lesota, this is the trans person, of Berkeley, California, was born in Alaska and studied computer science at the University of Fairbanks before accepting an internship at NASA, moving to California in 2016. It's like a far north oil project, I think. Yeah, the M18 well. Where's the M18 well? Thank you for the $2, by the way. Basically, there's a bunch of far north oil in Canada. You go really far up into the fucking tundra. Yeah. Canada's getting that shit out of the ground. Fuck yeah. Okay. So once she moved to California, she began blogging, often publishing dark and violent blog posts under the name Ziz. She described her theory that the two hemispheres of the brain could hold separate values and genders and often desire to kill each other. In her writing, she spoke about being transgender and railed against her perceived enemies, including so-called rationalist groups. Okay. She agreed with them initially, but she broke away from the rationalist after they rejected her theories around gender and brain structure. When Lesota left the rationalists behind in 2018, she solidified herself with a group of extremely vulnerable and isolated followers. Let's see. They protested the rationalist movement by showing up at an alumni retreat for the Center of Applied Rationality. They wore Guy Fawkes masks and handed out flyers accusing the organization of anti-trans discrimination and sexual misconduct. Okay. They were arrested and charged with child endangerment for some... Why? Okay. So, in August of 2022, she faked her own death in a nighttime boating accident in San Francisco. While an obituary was published online, Coast Guard members never found her body. And here's the Zizans. Okay. The Zizians, whatever, are considered to be a small group of young people, mostly who are trans or non-binary. Most of the members are computer scientists in their 20s. They met online through their shared anarchist beliefs, and they've become increasingly violent over the years. Okay. They talk about radical veganism, gender identity, artificial intelligence. The group is now connected to at least 6 homicides in Vermont, California, and Pennsylvania. Jesus. Last month, about 32 kilometers from the Canadian border, a Border Patrol agent was shot and killed during a traffic stop in Vermont. Holy fuck. Milan was trapped in a firefight after she pulled over Youngblood, who was believed to be a Zizian, and her German travel companion, Backelholt. Okay. Youngblood, who had been driving Backelholt's car, got out and opened fire on Milan and other officers without warning. Backelholt tried to draw a gun, but was shot and killed. Holy fuck. They just shot him up. Now, to be fair, hold on. Listen. If this were a right-wing anarchist compound, out in the middle of nowhere wanting to be left alone, and they fired on the cops, maybe the right-wingers would be supporting them, as they have several times in the past. Okay. So, investigators put the pair under surveillance after a hotel worker reported concerns about their all-black tactical clothing and the gun that they were carrying. There's Teresa Youngblood. There he is. No, they wouldn't have. Listen. The last round of dev drama proves that fucking wrong. It's only base if it's the ATF. No, bad move, dev. No, I don't give a shit. Fuck them. You know what? I don't care about these double standards. I don't give a fuck. Fuck these people. If you're mad, fuck you. Sean King, $5. I guess because the shit is at the fin. Liberals not investing in energy projects. Yeah, probably. Dude, they should. All right. The smart thing to do right now is for Canada to start drilling for oil, building pipelines, and setting up shipping lanes between Canada and Europe. Start providing Europe with oil. Selling it to Europe instead of selling it to America. That's what Canada has to do now. This is a kind move by Dev. Ace needs to pay the bills. You literally just invented double standard out of nowhere. These things are not equivalent. Hold on, Tidge. Let me figure it out. Anarchist groups living on the land, off the grid, away from society, ignoring all court and government orders, attacking them violently when they show up. Pretty similar. Hey, Sparkles, what's up? How's it going, babe? Okay. Doing a search for the car after the shootout. Authorities found cell phones wrapped in foil, a ballistic helmet, night vision goggles, respirators, and ammunition. And a package of shooting range targets, including some that have been used, 2-way radios, but a dozen electronic devices. Okay. 3 days before Milan's death, the California landlord of property where numerous members of the Losotas group had once lived was brutally stabbed and had his throat slit. Oh my god. Fucking owned. Jesus. Maximilian Snyder had applied for a marriage license with the young blood in Washington State 2 months earlier, was charged in the landlord's murder. Prosecutors alleged he was trying to prevent the landlord from testifying in their murder case tied to the Zeiss. Oh my god, dude! These people are fucking crazy! These people are nuts! Should I actually look into these people? This is insane. All these fucking murders. Lesotho to refuse to speak, kept her eyes closed during booking. All right. Well, there we go. It's gonna be like that other black compound you looked into. Oh yeah, the fucking Black Hammer group. They bought a bunch of land out in the middle of fucking nowhere and wanted to make it like a black ethno state. Wait, someone was impaled by a sword? Okay, yeah, I gotta look into this more. This sounds fucking wild, dude. This sounds like incredible. Okay. Mastermind behind right-wing Twitter account Inevitable West has been exposed as an Indian crypto scammer. Okay. There he is. Dude. Indians are taking over the jobs of even alt-right influencers, man. I can't believe it. Okay. Here we go. Here's the account. Inevitable West. Defender of Western values and culture. Jesus Christ is King. This account is run from England, apparently. Yep, this man stabs over people at a quiet market in France. Europe's not okay. Yep. Eastern Germany doesn't play about. Didn't work out, though, dude. So yeah, this guy, he seems to be just like one of many right-wing aggregator accounts. Okay, I understand. I get it. All right? I understand. However, he's apparently an Indian guy. Sarab Chandrakar, linked to the controversial Mahadev betting app, mistakenly promoted his app on his main social media account, inadvertently leading to his identification. And he's been uncovered to be involved in a massive money laundering operation connected to the app. See, Pump.fun, Mahadev. Get your Mahadev now. Go to Pump Fun. Do you forget to switch accounts? Okay. So, Chandrakar, a prominent figure behind the Mahadev betting app, is currently under house arrest in Dubai after being detained following an Interpol-issued red notice. The Enforcement Directorate in India is actively seeking his extradition to face charges related to money laundering, with estimates suggesting the illicit proceeds could amount to 6,000 crore. What the fuck this is? Which is 680 million. What the fuck's a crore? I gotta look this up. What is it? Okay. Just wait a second. Oh, 1 crore is 1,000 Indian rupees. Okay. So 6,000 crore is $680 million when you go through the conversions. Okay. Terrace for $5. Mega stands for Mughal Alu Garam Arat. Okay, thanks, man. Okay. Let's see. Okay. His case has become more complex as it is allegedly linked to several high-ranking politicians and bureaucrats in Chhattisgarh. 11 individuals have been arrested, and 2 charge sheets have been filed. Adherent to Lady Columbia, behind every right-wing account is a brown girl waiting to get her womb bleached. I will not stop. Based. Okay, here is the man behind Inevitable West, Swaroop Chandrakar. Oops. Okay, so the Mahadev app is a focal point of controversy, drawing attention to Chandrakar's background. He, along with his business partner Ravi Uppal, allegedly ran the app as part of a larger scheme that defrauded thousands of people. The scale of the operation has raised further questions, particularly after reports surfaced of Chandrakar hosting a lavish wedding in Dubai. In addition to his business dealings, Chandrakar gained notoriety on social media under the pseudonym Inevitable West. So, apparently his account blew up. High-profile individuals, including Elon Musk, attributed to him. Yep. He posted a tweet that Musk picked up on a few and replied that his number skyrocketed. Yep. Despite the growing backlash and allegations, Inevitable West has continued to post right-wing content on X, reportedly blocking users who criticized the account or connected it to the Mahadev app scam. How's the weather in Mumbai? The head of the AFD is a lesbian with an Indian partner. Really, dude? Nazi lesbians. Okay, I'm gonna get on board with the fascists, dude. Based. So yeah, he's just ignoring it. But it's funny as fuck. It's funny as fuck. What was the meme about like Donald Trump's entire movement just being like Kash Patel and like JD Vance's wife, like just it's all Indians. It's all fucking Indians, dude. General white race savior. You're browner than I expected. Okay. At town halls, Republicans feel the heat from Trump and Musk's firing and cutting spree. Oh my god. See, I've seen this. Should we watch it maybe? Here, let me get my headphones out. Wait. I'm 2 hours behind, but your audio is worse than ever. What the fuck? How is it worse? Like, I asked if it was okay at the start of the stream. You guys all said yes. Terrace, $2. These aren't the areas you're looking for. Okay. Here, let's see. What's going on here?
Let alone 100 people.
They said it's your job to control the budget, not the president. And you are doing us a disservice to set that down and not stand up for us. And
Workers from the nuclear workers, the NNSA, our nuclear stockpile, and CDC workers working on the bird flu being fired by DOGE and then having to be rehired when someone realized, oh gosh, we need those people. Why is a supposedly conservative party taking such a radical and extremist and sloppy approach to this?
Oh. Great question. You can tell that these are right-wing people, not left-wing people. Because if they were left-wing, they'd have like a bunch of metal in their face and they'd be screaming about like Black Lives Matter or whatever at one of these.
to CDC several times. Actually, Dr. Howery, one of my former attendings, works there, and I'm in close contact with the CDC. They have about, 13,000 employees? 13,000 employees at the CDC. In the last couple of years, those probationary people, which is about 10% of their employee base, which is about 1,300 people, which you're referring to, a lot of the work they do is duplicitous with AI. Once again, one of the problems we have.
You don't want to hear that.
I happen to be a doctor. I know a few things. Okay, just give me a here's what we know. If you have 13,000 employees, and I'm sure you're aware of the size of government, the second biggest
Is that the area it's looking
leading
for?
job
Thanks, man.
creators in the last 4 years has been government, next to healthcare. Healthcare first, government second.
So frustrating they name it
If we
Doge.
continue to grow the size of
Thanks,
government,
Super Chats,
and we
guys.
can't afford it, it's going to have shortfalls in your Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, and other things that we can't afford, guys. We have to make some decisions. And one of the things with the CDC, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, this is my opinion, you may disagree with it, but in my opinion, when you make those 10% cuts to the new hires, a lot of it's duplicitous jobs. And I've talked to Dr. Howell, and I've talked to the CDC director, and I'm in close contact with them, and I know how they do their research. And I know how computers work in ferreting out those information, the treatments, the
He's getting
recommendations,
raked over the coals,
what they should and they shouldn't be done. And I believe that they could do more with less, just like the Marine Corps and everybody else does, when you have to do more with less in order to survive.
That was his answer. But whether it's correct or not, the audience isn't swallowing it. They don't like it. Yep. Many members of the House skipped holding large public events while out of Washington this week, but the Republicans who did hold town halls back home got an earful. House Republicans have faced sometimes hostile crowds furious about the sweeping budget cuts and mass firings of federal workers that Donald Trump and Elon Musk have been carrying out. Okay. Wow. At City Hall in Roswell, a suburb of Atlanta, on Thursday night, attendees jeered and talked over Republican Representative Rich McCormick as they peppered him with tough questions about the cuts. Not in the FBI asks, at what point is it acceptable to pick up arms against your political enemies? Not in the FBI, I'm sure. When negotiation is no longer possible. Like when you can't simply live together and negotiations have completely broken down, especially if you're going to be exterminated. At that point, definitely. There are certain lines, definitely. Like, everyone's like, Fed post, glowies, da-da-da. Yeah, but there's a lot of political science writing on, like, when is it appropriate to actually have a revolution against a corrupt government, right? Like, no one would bat an eye if the Germans actually rose up against the Nazis, right? Obviously. There's clearly a line where it becomes morally acceptable. So, for me, the line has to be like Trump just blatantly violating the Constitution and then getting impeached and then ignoring the impeachment, right? Like, that has to be the line there. Like, if Congress actually successfully impeaches him and he simply says, I'm not going to move, and then like the police apparatus closes ranks around him, then you have to use force. Let's see here. One man asked McCormick how Musk's Doge could fire employees at the National Nuclear Security Administration, which safeguards America's nuclear weapons. Let's talk about the bird flu. Yep, we talked about that. Yep, we just saw this. A lot of the work they do is duplicitous with AI. So wait, is he saying that these government employees are doing work with AI? I mean, maybe they are, right? But still, it's funny. It's funny as fuck. Tariffs, $5. People on X are expecting the Patriot Front to disappear soon. That's right. Patriot Front was viewed as like an FBI thing. You know what? If Kash Patel is worth his fucking salt, I have no respect for the man. But if he wants to earn some, he needs to reveal that Patriot Front was a fucking glowy op, if it actually was. If it was. Yeah, he said duplicitous, but he means redundant, obviously. Like he's saying like duplicate in duplicitous, and duplicate means double, which means being redundant. Like he's using the wrong word, but I know what he's saying. Sean King, $2. You the Trump hope over the hockey game. No, I didn't. I did not, actually. Okay. If we continue to grow the size of government and we can't afford it, it's going to have shortfalls in your Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security. You have to make some decisions. To be honest, I think cutting the U.S. aid stuff is probably, if you must cut something, cutting U.S. aid is more important than cutting nuclear security. Like, holy fuck, guys. It was Congress's job to direct and appropriate. So here, hold on. A woman told McCormick, who represents a safe Republican seat, that it was Congress's job to direct and appropriate federal spending, not the president. And you are doing a disservice to set that down and not stand up for us. Many of these issues will be litigated in court, McCormick said, prompting more jeers. But we're pissed, another attendee yelled out. So they're right here, right? I've said this now for a while. That the reason that Trump pulling apart USAID is bad is not because he hasn't found actual wasteful spending. He has found it. It's bad because it is Congress's job. This is a power that the United States president does not have. This is Congress's job. So the fact that Congress is not standing up to Trump is actually a problem, because Congress should say, no. You are now taking powers that the Constitution says are ours, and they should be defending it, and they're not. So this criticism here is correct. The people are angry at congressmen for not defending the powers that Congress constitutionally has, and they are correct to be angry about it. One Republican lawmaker said it appeared that constituents who have been quiet since Joe Biden's 2020 victory are back out in force. Too much, too fast seems to be a common refrain. They need to review each program, department, or agency first, and then make calculated decisions. We're frustrated right now by the lack of clarity. Like, these are all good. These are my critiques of what Trump's been doing. Like, there are definitely lefties out there, as Sargon described, that are just irrationally screaming because their entire project's being pulled apart. My critiques is that this is too much, too fast. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're cutting, and they're ruining things. All right, not just the left's pet retarded projects, but they're ruining everything. Are you going to subpoena him at some point? Are you willing to use your subpoena power to tell Musk to stand in front of Congress and answer some hard questions? They should. They absolutely should. Oh, fuck. If you think that he's doing it right, would you like all your private records revealed and pulled up by a bunch of people that weren't elected and they just randomly appointed, a bunch of 20-year-olds? I know that when I was in the service, there was a chain of command and we answered to somebody. I don't see Elon Musk answering to anybody. Yeah. What in particular is too much too fast? That's one of those things where it's like, I know it when I see it. You know? Kind of like pornography, you know it when you see it. So yeah, this is bad in my opinion. This is bad, guys. These are bad moves by Trump's administration. And to be fair, assuming that there will be elections in 2 years, they are setting up the Democrats for like a ridiculous win. Unless something crazy happens, they're setting the Democrats up. Why is Harrison Ford suddenly endorsing all these products? Well, I mean, the answer is money, right? It's money. The 82-year-old actor is joining the Marvel Cinematic Universe in Captain America: Brave New World. He's alongside Helen Mirren in the Yellowstone prequel series, 1923. He was on a TV commercial for 2-minute Jeep ad for Super Bowl. Harrison Ford is everywhere. I assume he just needs money, right? And to be fair, Harrison Ford doesn't usually go into advertising. He's not usually doing this sort of work, so it's kind of strange to see. Where he blew all his money. Yeah. Oh, hold on. Ford's agent said he's not an advertising guy. He doesn't do this thing. He doesn't need the money. He doesn't have time, and so it's not happening. Oh. Okay. It came out to be something that I really feel comfortable with. I guess you just liked the fucking ad. Okay. Sure. All right. Hold on. He's done a Jeep gig. He wore a kilt for whiskey ads? Okay. Is he Scottish? Oh, there it is, yeah. Yeah. With an estimated net worth of $300 million, why is the actor hawking products? Like other A-listers in the brand partnership space, it's not always about the money or exposure, but about establishing or keeping themselves culturally relevant. Oh. They just want to keep him in the public limelight? Like, the guy's fucking 80. To be fair, being 80, you can't be an action star anymore, right? You can't be running around doing stunts. So I guess commercials are just easy money. Easy way to do it, you know? You guys recall, like, oh, fuck, who was it? The Geezer Teaser guy that Red Letter Media talked about a couple years ago. Like, a lot. Fuck, what was his fucking name? He has dementia now. He can't speak. Bruce Willis, right? Bruce Willis did something like 20 movies over the course of 2 years. Yeah. Whistling Dixon, yes. Yeah. Bruce Willis did like 20 movies over the course of 2 years where he was in the fucking movie for like 5 minutes and the movie just sucked ass. It was just fucking terrible. And he just did it and got a big fat fucking payday so you could have money to leave to his kids after he died. Like, and here's the thing, Bruce Willis's movies were good, you know? Like, everyone loves Die Hard, man. You go back and during his heyday, everyone loves his shit. But like, he just made a bunch of low quality movies where he's clearly wearing an earpiece and like barely acting. And he's in the movie for 5 minutes. Oh no, yeah, he stopped doing it because now he can't. Like Bruce Willis can't speak anymore. Like, he's completely lost his brain, unfortunately. Hold on, real quick. I grabbed it. Yeah. Thanks for $2. Terrace, Red and Red 2 were awesome. Thank you very much, man. Bruce Willis's health. Yep, since March 2022, the Willis family has been giving updates on Bruce Willis's health after the Die Hard star stepped away from acting due to health issues. Yet he has frontotemporal dementia, the degenerative disease that affects communication and behavior, as opposed to memory. Yep. So, as his language started changing, it seemed like it was just a part of his stutter. Like, it was just Bruce. Never in a million years would I think it would be a form of dementia for someone so young. Damn. Okay. So his health is stable. He's stable, which is good and it's hard. There's painful days, but there's so much love. I'm taking it every day for granted. Yep. His dementia is really aggressive. Oof. Dementia's hard. Is her husband aware of what's going on with his health? It's hard to know. Oof, that's rough. Yeah, so he's 69. Or he was at this point, which was when? A year or two ago? So like that's not like young anymore, obviously, but you expect people to You expect people to live around 8 to around 80 nowadays, right? To be hit with like debilitating dementia at 69 is rough. You know? Like that's rough. Fucking hell. Yeah. Is he just like barely present there? Damn. I guess he's just kind of riding out the rest of the days, eh? Rip. Meanwhile, Eastwood still makes movies regularly. Isn't Eastwood like 90? Like he's still fucking going crazy. Yeah. So on my dad's side, there is a history of dementia, but my dad's parents both lived till they were in their 90s. On my mom's side, there is no history of any bad health whatsoever, and they also lived till they were 90. Like my grandfather, the day before he died, was working on the roof of his house, and he like came down, had dinner, hung around, you know, like watched TV, went to bed, and then just like died in his sleep. It's like, damn, that guy was like he was going right up to the end, you know. So maybe I'll be okay as long as I keep losing weight. Maybe I'll be okay. Hey, Fox in Space, what's up, man? Maybe you'll see Dev last for a long time. Who knows? Maybe I'll just die as a fat old man when I'm like 55. Okay, let's keep going. Zelensky says he's willing to give up presidency for peace in Ukraine or NATO membership. So there is this view that Zelensky's a dictator. A view on the right wing. Zelensky's a dictator. He's forcing his people to fight when they don't want to fight. He's banned elections, even though per the Ukrainian constitution there are no elections during wartime to maintain, you know, control of the government. You know, there's this view on the right wing that Zelensky is evil. Well, he said he's willing to give up presidency for peace in Ukraine or NATO membership. Like, boom, there you go. He seems to have completely routed around that fucking claim. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said at a press conference in Kiev on Sunday that he would be willing to resign from his post in exchange for peace in Ukraine or NATO membership. If it is peace for Ukraine and you really want me to leave my post, I'm ready. Alternatively, I can trade this for NATO membership, if such conditions exist, immediately, so we don't have lengthy discussions. I am focusing on Ukraine security today, not in 20 years. I don't intend to stay in power for decades. Yeah, because, like, Trump offered Ukraine a deal to extract Ukrainian rare earth minerals in exchange for American help. But it was actually only to pay off the help that America's already given Ukraine, and Trump wants double the amount back that Biden gave to Ukraine in rare earth minerals. And Ukraine said, fuck you, no. And then Trump came out on Twitter and was, on Truth Social and was like, Zelensky is a dictator, he's fucking evil, all this shit. And then Trump comes back with a second offer. And now Zelensky's considering the second offer. However, Zelensky's already said he will not sign any agreement that does not have any security guarantees for Ukraine. So, like, if America's not going to keep funding Ukraine, if there's not going to be something that allows Ukraine to continue to exist as an independent country, Zelensky will not sign. That's what he said. That's what he said. And people are saying Zelensky's a dictator. So Zelensky says, listen, I'll step down. I will fucking step down. If you think I'm a dictator, all right, I will leave the office right now if you agree to defend Ukraine. It's like, dude, well, there you go. Zelensky's offer is a major concession amid an ongoing public dispute with President Donald Trump, which escalated last week when Donald Trump suggested that the Ukrainian president was responsible for starting the war. Yeah, okay. You guys saw that Ukraine, like Trump said Ukraine was responsible for starting the war. Like, this is insane. This is actually fucking insane bullshit, dude. Like, I don't know how or why you could think this you could possibly fucking think this. Like, it's stupidity. It's stupidity. Trump is actually just guzzling Russian semen at a breakneck pace right now. So, like, U.S. president went on to call Zelensky a dictator and then a modestly successful comedian. Trump has done comedy. Trump's done comedy too, dude. This is fucking nonsense, dude. This is insane. This is bullshit. It's all part of the plan. It's all part of the plan. Ukraine started the war by voting out the Russian puppet in 2014, they would say. Guzzling buckets, would you say? Buckets of cum. Buckets of cum. I get the joke. Zinko says they were bombing people in the Donbass in 2012. You mean they were bombing? It was like they were bombing separatists? Civil war? War in the Donbass. Let's see, real quick. October 2014. Where's 2012? Bombing people in the Donbass in 2012. Allegations of genocide in the Donbass. Okay. Wait. Ukraine fought a war against Russian proxy forces in the Donbass war from 2014 to 2022. I don't see anything about 2012. All right. I have not seen any real proof that there's been a 2014 extermination of Russian ethnic people in the eastern part of Ukraine, but I'll look into it, but I'm pretty sure that's not true. Don't ask, don't tell. That's pretty good. Anyway. So, yeah. Zelensky said, "There's no place for emotions" when asked about Trump's attacks on him. "I have a pragmatic position. I can't name these words a compliment, but what can I do? I'm the elected president by 73% of the Ukrainian people. After the martial law, there will be elections. Perhaps he will say something good about me then. It is more important what Ukrainians think about me." Yeah, completely true. Like, Zelensky is doing everything right here, you know? Let's see. We are at nearly 4 o'clock, which means that I gotta go, even though I didn't finish the final 2 articles. That's okay, isn't it? You don't gotta finish them all every day. God damn it. Russia deployed the 200th Motor Rifle Brigade into the Donbass 2014. By that logic, Ukraine would be justified in declaring war on Russia. I mean, yes, true. Agreed. You never finish them all, fat ass. I finished them all I finished them all last week, you fuck. Get out of here. Dev's got to go listen to Adam suck off Trump for 8th week in a row. No, Trump's doing some pretty bad things, in my opinion. And dude, okay, you guys should go tell Sitch and Adam to no, not Sitch, Adam. Tell Adam to debate Dev on Trump. Let's do it. Let's do it. Adam v. Dev. This time, a friendship will not end over a healthy disagreement on politics. Anyway, guys. I'm busy trolling Sargon. What, is Sargon currently live? What's he doing? Some of the things that I said about Sargon also kind of apply to V as well. Like, sorry, I said about V also apply to Sargon. You know, like, he didn't want to debate Loner Box on the UK grooming gang issue. And Sargon, like, I think Sargon could have really held his own in that debate. You just didn't do it, though. It's like, what the fuck? Sargon, he's now, like, blocking more people. Is just, I don't know. Sargon is moving towards being the kind of person that he used to rail against 10 years ago as well, and that's not good. That is not good. You know? Isolating himself, not debating, etc., etc. He's not nearly down as far down that track as V is. Like, V is terminal. Sargon's like dipping his toe in. I don't find Loner Box to be that aggressive in Direct Soder. Like, Lonerbox is pretty chill. He's pretty chill. I mean, Sargon's much more educated than he used to be. That's for sure. His videos have more meat to them than they used to. But I do not... I think he has moved into... He has moved into like a Fortress arc. And that's no good. That's no good. Who haven't we rated in a while? Chud Logic. I rated Chud Logic recently. I've rated Rima recently. I rated Discordia last week. You know what? We haven't rated Kibbs in some time. Let's go raid good old Kibbs. All right. Thanks for being here, everyone. I appreciate the support. You guys are the best, as always. Yeah, join the Discord server. And you know what? I think now that Dave's returning, we can do gaming streams again. And yes, new videos soon. Have a good one, guys. I love you.